Good morning, friends. Welcome in NET-JRF Academy. Let's start to solve Jan 2025 UGC NET Anthropology question paper. And it's really helpful to you. Please like, subscribe and share. Okay, let's move on the next questions. Arrange the father Smith list of the circle from earlier to later. It's a very tricky questions and very conceptual questions UGC NET ask. We already know this culture circle school. This is a Chris is a German word that is called circle. It's mean culture circle. Culture circle. It's a German school. German diffusionist school. And Smith is belong to W. Smith is belong to this school. W. Smith is belong to this school, and he gave the concept of the culture circle, and we have to arrange this circle in form of chronology. First is patrilineal totemic hunter circle, free patrilineal circle, arctic circle, and matrilineal village dwelling horticulture circle. This, when we start reading, just learn first. Okay, let's see. He gave 3 types of the culture circle, 4 types. The first one is a primary culture circle. Then, first one was a primitive. First one was a primitive. Second one was primary. Third one was secondary. And fourth one was tertiary culture circle. In first one, the Smith add 3 types of the culture. First, second and third. First culture was central R exogamous circle. Oh God, sorry. First one was exogamous circle. Second one was arctic. Third one was Antarctic. This is a primitive culture. And the next, the primary step culture, they involve first ABC. A is patriarchal. Cattle rearing nomads. And B is exogamous patrilineal totemic. And C is exogamous matrilineal and horticultural something he had. Horticultural, cultural, horticultural. And the last one is a tertiary. secondary culture, he had a free patrilineal system, free patrilineal system, and second one is he had free matrilineal system, free matrilineal system. Okay, according to this is let's see the options. Arctic Arctic Circle was primitive. It was primitive. C is a first one option. So only we have C is the first one option. Second option is correct. When I was attempt these questions, I was not aware about this type of the culture division is given by Smith. So how can I attempt this question that time? I was attempt कि आर्कटिक में कोई डेवलपमेंट नहीं है तो मे बी आर्कटिक पहले आया होगा. एंड द लास्ट वन पैट्रियार्कल, जो पैट्रियार्कल फ्री सिस्टम होता है, फ्री पैट्रियार्कल सिस्टम, क्योंकि पैट्रियार्कल सिस्टम फ्री हो ये काफ़ी बाद का कॉन्सेप्ट होता है. तो आई वॉज अटेम्प्टिंग पुटिंग दिस कॉन्सेप्ट, बट आफ्टर दैट आई read lots of book and I find कि Smith was given 4 types of the cultural distinctions: the primitive, primary, secondary and tertiary. And the primitive division he had central Esquimalt circle, and then Arctic circle, then Antarctic circle. And after that in the primary he had patriarchal cattle rearing nomads, exogamous patrilineal totemic hire hunters, and then he had exogamous matrilineal village dwelling horticultural. And in the secondary he had the free patrilineal system, and after that a pre matrilineal system. Right now we are knowing the secondary circle he had free patriarchal, then free matrilineal, then pre matrilineal. It might be next time they ask this chronology, so we are now aware. In tertiary system there were no clear cut distinctions he mentioned. So let's move. So correct option is 2. Let's move on the next question. Which of the following genome project was based on concept of the linkage disequilibrium? Okay, so human genome project, 1000 genome project, ENCODE, and half man project. Half man project become very famous for UGC NET nowadays, and they ask again and again questions on the basis of this half man project. So correct option is for half man project. Human genome project was launched in 1990, 1992, 2003. Sorry, sometimes they represent 2004. So half man project and human genome project. And 1000 genome project was launched in, I think it's a program of 2008. It's a program of 2008. It was focused on single nucleotide base pair, SNP. And after that ENCODE. What is the full form of the ENCODE? Encyclopedia DNA. This is not a mention in any genetic programs. And half man project was launched in 2002. Last time in last examinations they ask a chronology of this type of the genome project, and they add some other project like a diversity project and genome India project. So this was a 2000. So correct option is 4. Let's move on the next question. Indian prehistoric site located from geological west to east. It's a very simple question. If you know the location, you can easily arrange. First one is Adamgarh. Second one is Birbhanpur. Third one is Dauzali Hardin. Fourth one is Langanas. And E is Lekhania. Okay, so let's see the first what we know. Adamgarh in Madhya Pradesh. Birbhanpur in West Bengal. Dauzali Hardin. We learned a lot about northeast site in Assam. And Langnaj is a site of Gujarat. And after that Lekhania is a site of UP. So let's arrange from west to east. First one is D, Gujarat. then Madhya Pradesh, A, Gujarat, then Madhya Pradesh, then UP, E, then West Bengal, B, and the last one is Dausali herding, C. So correct option is D, A, E, B, C, 4. Even though we know the first one, Langnas, and last one, so we can easily answer, like first one is D, so we can eliminate 2 option, and the last one is, if no, the Dausali herding is the last one, last each side, then we can easily get the answer. So correct option is 4. Let's move on the next question. Okay, anthropologist, and we have to match from their specialization area. So first one is B.K. Roy Burman. B.K. Roy Burman is a very famous one. He launched, actually he was a head of B.K. Roy Burman committee for this was related to tribal development area. B.K. Roy Burman committee. This is related to tribal development area. And S.C. Dubbe was related to rural development. We know the book of, he worked on the community development program. He worked on the community development program in his book India's Changing Village. And K. Suresh Singh and H.M. Mathur. K. Suresh Singh is related to tribal social movement. Yes, K. Suresh is related to social movement, and public policy. H.M. Mathur is related to public policy. So correct option is 3, 4. 4. Correct option is 4. Let's move on the next question. Okay. Who was the first person suggest about the uh, autochthones Negrito element in India? Actually, this question is try to asking to who was the first person who was studies to Negrito elements in India. In our third unit, clear cut mention about ethnic classification in Indian population. This is a part of that one. Okay, so D Quarterface, and he was study in D Quarterface study of Indian population is 1819, and after that Escatates is studies in 1819 too. B.S. Guha studies of Indian populations in, I think he was about 1930, near about 1930, and J.H. Hutton is 1921. So according to this chronology, the first option is D Quarterface, and Negrito elements. He studied the first. The correct option is 1. Let's move on the next question. Next question is oh sorry, I was attempting in Hindi. That's why I have in Hindi paper. Okay, the question is भारत की स्वतंत्रता के पश्चात जनजातीय कल्याण में शामिल गैर सरकारी संगठन. Basically, this question is asked about NGO. NGO were involved in the tribal welfare after India independence. This question is NGO involved in India or in tribal development after independence. India independence. तो for संथाल पहाड़िया सेवा मंडल, भारतीय आदिम जाति सेवक संघ, राजस्थान सेवा मंडल, उड़ीसा आदिवासी कांग्रेस. I never heard about Rajasthan Seva Mandal, so correct option is A, B, and D. A, B, and D. Correct option is 1. So let's move on the next question. Okay, this is a very interesting questions. I was attempting in Hindi, so that's why in Hindi. But it was interesting questions, and this adho anvasthani ke bina karuti. I know the Hindi is a very difficult. It's basically it's related to brain part. It's what is English? Acronial without karoti. Acronial without karoti. without karoti. Acroneal without karoti. And we have to match. This one is skull. Option second. Siramput, kapal are craniums. So second, we can eliminate these options. And Siramput के साथ adohan vasti. What the English of this term? Its English is acronym with Siramput. Sirasmut. Acronym with Sirasmut. Sirasmut. This is English of Sirasmut के साथ. Acronym with Sirasmut. So B, we can match a karoti. So second option is 4. We can eliminate these options. And let's see what the next options we have. Okay, so we can easily say the correct option is 4. Correct option is 4. Okay, let's see the other options. Karoti khapar is a match with calot. And neurocranium is match with kapal gumbad is clavarium. So if you want to this questions in detail, please let me know in the comment. It's a very important questions, and every year they ask about brain structures. So let's move on the next questions. Correct option is 4. Okay, and June 2024, they directly pick up one of the option in this list. So we have to match list 1 to list 2. The first one is penetrins. And this is a paper of Jan 2025, and they directly put up this question is June 2025. What is penetrins? Second is Lyon hypothesis. Lyon hypothesis was very important concept. And paleotropic. All these concepts are very important. And polygenic. Okay, let's see the first very easy options. Lyon hypothesis. Lyon hypothesis is related to doses compensation and bar bodies. So we can match with this. And multiple gene for one phenotype. Okay, paleotropic, one gene, multiple phenotype. Let's see, they create here and here confusion. Okay, fractions of cases carrying a given gene that manifest a specific phenotype. This is called a penetrance. ये होता है डीफी जीन के कॉन्सेप्ट में. सॉरी, पता नहीं. ये होता है डीफी जीन के कॉन्सेप्ट में. डीफी जीन या डीफी ब्लड ग्रुप जब होते हैं. Next one is paleotropic. Paleotropic is multiple gene for one phenotype. Okay, when the multiple gene is related to one phenotype, it directly related to polygenic. And paleotropic is one gene and the multiple phenotype. This is a very simple questions, but they create a very confused and ambiguous. Very easy to distinctions between paleotropic and polygenic, because multiple gene for one phenotype. Because the very best example is skin color. स्किन के कलर के लिए बहुत सारे जीन रिस्पॉन्सिबल होते हैं, लेकिन कैरेक्टर हमारा फिनोटिपिक कैरेक्टर एक ही होता है. इसके अदर ऑप्शन हम ले सकते हैं हाइट. वी कैन से हाइट इज अ one phenotypic character is controlled by many gene. This is called polygenic. In our syllabus is directly mention of polygenic characters or polygenic term. And paleotropic is directly related to one gene and the multiple phenotype. This is related to sickle cell anemia. One gene is multiple phenotype. Okay, so correct option is A to B3. Correct option is 3. Let's move on the next question. Very interesting questions, and I love these questions always whenever UGC NET exam asks this type of the questions. And I am sure after this video you love this type of the questions. Like, see, European prehistoric culture, succession from earliest to latest. Okay, we have three option, we have three category. First one is लोअर पैलियोलिथिक का तो याद ही नहीं करना होता क्योंकि उसमें एविलियन और एचुलियन होते हैं. तो लोअर पैलियोलिथिक कल्चर इज related to एविलियन एंड एचुलियन, and middle paleolithic culture is related to middle paleolithic. We already know the middle paleolithic is belong to Neanderthal, and Neanderthal was, they follow Mousterian culture. Mousterian culture. They follow Mousterian culture. So this option is belong to middle Paleolithic. Lower Paleolithic, after lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic was first. Let's see the second. Second was a little bit tricky. It's a upper Paleolithic culture. Upper, middle के बाद upper आएगा, तो upper Paleolithic culture में क्या होगा? ठीक है, इसमें हो जाएगा PCG. मैंने कैसे याद किया है? आई लर्न, देखिए मैंने याद किया है प्रियंका चोपड़ा. जब भी मुझे एग्जाम में कन्फ्यूजन होता है तो मैं प्रियंका चोपड़ा को यहाँ से, प्रियंका चोपड़ा जी को यहाँ से ऐड कर देती हूँ. पी से पेरिगोडियन, सी से चैटरपेरेनियन, जी से ग्रेविटियन. इसके बाद कोई कन्फ्यूजन ही नहीं होता. तो लेट्स सी. पी पेरिगोडियन, सी चैटरपेरेनियन मतलब चोपड़ा जी, फिर आ गई जी ग्रेविटियन जिनको हम रिस्पेक्ट देते हैं. तो अपर पैलियोलिथिक कल्चर पी, सी एंड जी. उसके बाद आता है ऑरिग्नेशियन, सलुटेरियन एंड मैग्डेलेनियन. और ऑरिग्नेशियंस, सलुटेरियन एंड मैग्लेडेलियन, मैग्लेडेनियन एंड मोस्टेरियन. एंड लेट्स सी द upper paleolithic culture. Let's see the mesolithic culture. Third one is mesolithic culture. Mesolithic. So how can learn this? I learned ATM. ATM. If you want to learn, you can learn. ATM मतलब Azilian, Turdinosian, and Maglemosian. उसके बाद आता है दो कल्चर है. फर्स्ट वन इज किचन मिडल, KM. ATM कम, पैसे कम होते हैं तो हम लोग ATM में जाते हैं. किचन मिडल एंड लास्ट वन इज सॉरी KN, कन है, कन. एन से हो जाएगा हमारा नतूफियन. नतूफियन हमेशा लास्ट में आता है क्योंकि ये लोअर लिथिक न्यूलिथिक से माइग्रेट करने लगते हैं. ये एक स्पेसिफिक कल्चर है जिसके बारे में हमें डिटेल में पढ़ना होता है. एंड एवरी ईयर UGC नेट एग्जाम आस्किंग अबाउट डिटेल नतूफियन कल्चर. So it's a very easy concept. Many times UGC nets try to confuse Mousterian, Magdalenian or Maglemosian culture. So don't be confused about this. So let's see the which one is the correct sequence. First one is Natufian. This one is the last. Chatterperanian. This one is the upper Paleolithic culture. Sorry. Yes, upper Paleolithic culture. And Maglemosian. Maglemosian is a Mesolithic culture. Solutarian is a upper Paleolithic culture. Azilian. So if you learn this, you can solve any types of this question. So let's see the first one is, first one we can add this B. B1 is the first. So we can easily eliminate these options. And the last one is A. So both B and B. Okay. Let's see. So Maglemosians. And after B, A, Solutarian. ओके. आफ्टर बी, बी के बाद आ जाएगा हमारा, बी है, बी के बाद आ जाएगा डी, एजिलियन कल्चर. बी, डी, एजिलियन कल्चर. एजिलियन कल्चर सॉरी बी डी के बाद सोलुटेरियन कल्चर. सोलुटेरियन कल्चर के बाद एजिलियन कल्चर. एजिलियन कल्चर के बाद सी, मैग्लेमोशियन कल्चर. मैग्लेमोशियन कल्चर. और लास्ट में हमारा जाएगा नतूफियन कल्चर. सो दैट correct option is 3. Okay, thanks for watching, and like, subscribe and share, and we will meet again tomorrow from upcoming video in this series of paper. Thank you for watching.